debt collection assistant. This is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need the Stripe, Make.com, and Airtable. And I'm gonna guide you step by step how to set everything up. Here is the base fields, what you need for your assistant to work. Let's go to Stripe. Click on sign in or sign up. If you don't have an account, just create an account. Okay. Now we're gonna need payment links to make payment links. In order to make payment links, we're gonna need the product. So we create the product. We go on add product, create a new product. Just put the name and description just for reference. Okay. Here we go. Now you can add a product image. So if you do telemarketing, this is another good use case. Okay, here you go. We have a product ready. Save the product ID to have it for later. We're gonna use it down the track. So on the right hand side, you can see the product ID just over here. This is it. Just click copy, save it in a folder or somewhere. Now we go to Airtable, we go to Builder Hub, we create a token, click on create new token, just add a name for reference, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, so we just need to read and write, and then we choose the table that we give access to, and then we get the token. Now we go to the developer hub, we go on the web API, we go on our base, we choose the base, and then here we have all the information that we need to connect the Airtable base with any API. I have your field IDs, how fields work, if they are string, if they're numbers, how they work. So here you go. We created a new contact. We had just a name, email, phone number, the Stripe reference ID that will be added up during the process, invoice ID if you want to. And yeah, here we go. The login will be added, paying will be added, and the first call, second call, new call, that's just for the reference, so we don't do the multiple calls. Now we go on VAPI. Server URL, we're gonna use it for the server URL, we're gonna use it to get all the information about the call, for the call. This is how we're gonna talk to VAPI. Alright, you can name your assistant, create one from scratch. Now in here, in this dashboard, it's all preference. You can choose the basic of the basic. You're still gonna make it work. It's gonna sound different than mine, obviously. Alright. 1 second. Okay, let's focus on getting the base done. As soon as we get the base done, we can move forward and improve it and adjust it. So in functions, we're gonna need one function. We're gonna need send payment links. We're gonna need a webhook. Now to make it clear, we use Make.com because it has an easy integration with easy authentication with a lot of apps. So instead of going through the process of authentication, you just have it here. Alright, so custom webhook, click on custom webhook, add a new one, name it for reference. You can name it whatever you want. Let's name this one Maxim send link. Okay, now you copy the URL, go back to tools, paste it in there, click save, and then click on next. Now the name and description. Name and description is mainly to make the AI understand what is this tool used for, and to be easy to get access to. You send payment link when someone says send link or send me the link, or they say send or link, it's gonna think, okay, I need to use the tool. Okay, I can send the payment link. Okay, makes sense. Boom, send them the payment link. All right, save. Click on next. Now I have the tool ready. What we're gonna need? We're gonna need the ID. Just save the ID. Save it somewhere. You need tool calls in both of them, in the server message and client message. Right here, it's if the user doesn't say anything for a few seconds, for example 5 seconds, 7 seconds, they don't say anything, you're gonna check on them and you're gonna ask them a question. Say, hey, are you okay? You still there? Can I help you with anything? Or whatever the case is, whatever relates to your need, you can use it from here. You just selected it, whatever sounds good to you. And on the conversation, you can just say bye or goodbye or thank you, see you next time, or whatever the case is. Idle message, how many times? So for example, if he says one time, are you still there? They don't say anything and say, can I help you with anything? If it doesn't say anything, it's gonna end up the call. Now the summary prompt here is how you're gonna get your end of the call summary. So you say whatever you want in here. You can say something like I'm writing in here. You are an expert in taking notes. You're gonna extract from this transcript. You can extract the following, blah 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 blah, and then it's gonna lay them out for you. The more context you give, the better the result is. So what we did here, you are an expert in taking notes. Yeah, so we tell the AI that he's an expert in taking notes, and then we inform them that they can receive a transcript, and then we're gonna give the context of that collection call, so he already knows. And we say we wanna summarize it in a few sentences. Very important, because AI sometimes can go wild. You need to emphasize important things, like do not make things up, do not assume, because sometimes they assume. For example, if the context is there, it makes sense for them, but it doesn't make sense for you. So if it just gives you a sentence that is not related to that, maybe makes sense for them because they have the full transcript, they have the token usage, they have everything in there, and they're like, okay, this makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for you. Or they can make things up like, I don't know, the user didn't talk because they didn't like talking to AI. They didn't say anything, they just not even answer. Success evaluation. Here you're gonna give more context about what is this call about and what do you actually want to extract from there. What is a success call for you? Like, we engage with the customer. If that's the success call, yes, okay, so this is gonna be evaluated as success because the user answered the phone. If sending them a message is a success, you can say, okay, if we use the tool, if we send the payment link, this is a success, and so on. So it varies from use case to use case or for your needs. So whatever is your main goal, that is a success evaluation. I'm gonna speed up a little bit through this. Okay, now let's move forward. Now to get the assistant, we're gonna go on get assistant. You're gonna need the authorization, error token, and then the ID. Here at the top we have the ID of the assistant. We just paste it in here. We're gonna go back to the dashboard. We're gonna go on the APIs, bottom left, API keys, get the private API, paste it in here, and then send, and then you're gonna get something like this. Now we're gonna go in the, we're gonna adjust the JSON. We're gonna delete what we don't need, and then we're gonna add what we need to make it work. And then we have create that and update that. We need to get rid of this. Organization ID and ID, we need to get rid of that. And then very important, we're gonna need the Twilio information. The type of call, it's an outbound call, and then we use that. And then we need to add it, it's an assistant. Assistant, curly brackets, we press enter, and then we put the rest of the information in there. Now as the voicemail message, what's happening is when you call, they don't answer, or the line is busy, it's not gonna hang up. It's just gonna send the information that you want to send. So it's gonna leave a voicemail saying something like, hey, I'm Valentino, I'm reaching out in regards to this and that, and if you can, just call us back at your earliest convenience, or whatever the case is. Okay, so we need another webhook for the tool calls. That's gonna be placed in there. Then we're gonna get the end of the call summary. All right, so now we're gonna go back in. We have the server URL in there. Okay, we got the new updated assistant. We go back in the JSON. Then we format it. You click up here. You format it. You remove the ID, organization ID. Remove what you need to remove from here. Okay. Created that, updated that. And then we need to copy this and paste it right after the assistant, and then it keeps the Twilio information. Okay, so we need to make sure we have that. We're gonna use Postman to test it. All right. Now we're gonna paste this one in our scenario. I prepared this scenario just for testing, and for this video we're gonna paste it in here. How we're gonna test it is you paste it in here. I'll leave this scenario, I'll leave it in a documentation somewhere. I will share it with you. So here you're gonna paste all the information that you need: the API, Twilio, SID, the token, and the number. And now we got an error here. It's a bad request. Okay, so we have all the information here. It says exactly what's wrong. So you can remove that from here. But because this video was pre-recorded, I already went through the trial and error, so I found out what the problem was, and I will tell you as soon as we move on with this. Okay, so we removed, as he said in there, we removed it, we copy it, we paste it again, we go back into the template, we open it, paste it in here, and now we're gonna try again. We're gonna get the Twilio number, we're gonna get the new SID and all that information to make sure they're correct. After you log into Twilio, every time you log in, it's gonna ask you for the secret code, which is pretty good. Alright. As soon as the page loads, you go on your project, you go on active numbers, you go on the numbers on your profile. It's gonna show you the Twilio SID and all that information in there. So you click here at the top. And then make sure the information that you use is exactly like the one in here. So copy, paste them somewhere in a notepad or in a Word doc. Make sure that everything is in order. And then you can use them down the track wherever you're going to need them. If you're going to create a new one, you're going to need them again. So you don't have to go back and forth. So you just have them all into one place. Alright, so we got the number. This is the number, and we put 661. Let's say, let's go back in there. Let's check the number. Okay, so the number was correct. We import the number because we created a new organization for the demo. We didn't have the phone number added into the VAPI, so we add it now. So you import a new number from Twilio. This is how you import it, and then you copy the number and then you paste, and we'll say okay, so the number exists. Okay, but the problem here is that if you use multiple accounts, if you have multiple accounts, and then you use it for your clients, you need to make sure that the API key is from the specific account that you are using. That was the mistake I did. It's a rookie mistake, but it is what it is. So we go in Postman, we replace all this. This is the best way to test. So you replace all the Twilio information, and then you replace the name and the phone number that you are calling, because we're gonna use this for outbound calling. Alright, so we put the number. I will speed up a little bit here. Alright, so here we are. We have the assistant in here. Now what we need to do, we need to go on the API calls, create the call, get the link on the right here. Yeah, just copy the full link and then paste it. Make sure you do a post request, not a get request. And then press send, and then we'll send you go on authorization, you paste the API key. Here was the problem, I had the wrong API key. So now we're gonna learn the hard way. Yeah, so we got the right one now, and then we need to replace it in make.com as well. So we just paste that one in here, and then you can store it if you're gonna reuse it, and then click on send, and then as a response, you're gonna get a response. If it's 200, it's success. If it's a 400 or 500, 401 or whatever, it's a bad request. So now the problem here is that it's not formatted properly because we added the Twilio information in there, and then he wasn't on the right lines. So what you need to do is select everything that needs to go in under assistant, under configurations. So either you press tab or you just use GPT, and then that's the fastest, easiest way. You paste that in GPT, say, hey, can you please format this? Make sure that everything is under the right properties, and then it will format it for you. So basically, all the main configuration has to be under assistant, and then all the call configuration has to be under each individual one. So tool under tool, assistant has to be, the tool has to be under assistant, and so on. So here you go, you got it. When you get it, you just copy it and then paste it in Postman in the body. Make sure it's raw body, and you click send again. And if that is a success, we'll say 200, like server status, good request, 200, yeah, 201. All right, so the call has been sent. All right, so now what we need to do is to get this code here that the GPT gave us formatted, and then paste it back into the make.com scenario. And then we're gonna try and make the call again, make sure it's working. And then we add all the information from Twilio, and then all the API keys, the updated API keys, we add them in the variables. Okay, make sure everything is in order. As I said, most of the configuration of the assistant is mainly it's a preference. It's not a must. By default, it sounds good, but if you wanna make it specifically for something, and then you want it to sound a certain way, that's how you do it. First message and the system prompt, you can add that later. The fastest way is to check your assistant in here. You click publish, you talk with the agent in here, or you use Postman. So you make changes, you pull the agent, use the agent in Postman, get the phone call, talk on the phone, or talk on the web, and adjust it from there as when it comes to the prompting. So here, as in the webhook, under tools, we have tool calls, and then we're going to have the end of the call summary. So we need to make sure that we add as a condition, if the message type is tool calls, it goes on the first one. And then if the message type is the message at the end of the call summary, it's going to go on the second one. So to make this easy, to not make calls all the time when you want to fix something, what you need to do is to actually get the output of the call, and then use it, send it to Postman, and then configure it and test it and make sure it goes on the right path. All right, so this is the tool call. This is the webhook. You send it to the webhook. It's accepted. You got it in here. Try again. That was an old one. Okay. That was a function call. It's a send link. Okay. And now we're gonna set up the scenario. To make it easy, to make it basic, this is what you need to do. You need to create the core of it, and then you adjust it down the track. Don't try to make it too complicated in the beginning. Otherwise, it's gonna go. You're gonna face a lot of issues, and it's gonna be hard to fix them. If you get one, if you do one change at a time, it will be easier to fix. So here we have the formula to look. Here we have the formula to look for the records. The best way to look for the records is by the phone number because the phone number is unique. So that's the formula that you use. You use the curly brackets phone number. We're gonna send the payment link. So basically, what we need is to get the customer phone number and then the information that we want to send in the body. There you go. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. We got the end of the call report. Now we need to add a condition. End of the call report. The text operator is equal to end of the call report. So only if the message type is end of the call report, it's gonna continue on that one. Don't forget, if this is going too fast, if you need to stop the video, just pause the video, do what you need to do, and then keep going. Now we need to add everything into the call info table. So we have two tables. One where we hold all the information for the customer, and one where we add all the call information, and then we link them together. So you're gonna pull everything you want from there. I just add the basics, the call ID, phone number, summary, transcript, webhook, recordings, both recordings, and the report type. The report type it can be end of the call report, or it can be inbound, outbound, whatever you want to keep track of. You can add it in there. If you have multiple agents, it's good to keep track of your agents, which agent is used for what, and you can track performance as well that way. Now this is during a live phone call. The message being sent. All right, now we need to get the transcript. So now we're gonna wait for the transcript to come through. Sorry, end of the call summary. All right, the call finished. That was the update. And here you go. The end of the call went through, and we got all the information stored in our database. This is how it looks like. That's what I asked, a clear markdown of the call. So we got information clearly. The SMS was sent, the caller was cooperative, and blah blah blah. We got all the information here. And from here you can process the information however you want, however your business needs are. All right, so now that we tested with the postman, now we need to go back into make.com, adjust the JSON to make the phone call in make.com. So we add all the information. I'm gonna speed up a little bit here. Don't forget to add all the information, up-to-date information in your variables, like here. Make sure you get your tokens, make sure you get your API key, and just add them in here. I'm gonna speed up a little bit here. Here, make sure the conditions are set. If you are using this template, make sure you change it to your own database and make sure all the tables using the tables. If you search from a table, make sure you add the information to the table that you search in. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna match. We got the wrong key, so we need to change the key. What I encourage you all to do is to enjoy the process. This is the most valuable thing. Enjoy the process, go through fail and error, and you will learn a lot. So test, make changes, adapt it to what you need, do it one by one, don't do too many things at the same time, and then fix it as you go and keep adding as you go. That will be the best thing you can do for your clients or for yourself or for the learning process in using AI and automations. Another thing I want you to be aware of is when you update the table, make sure you combine nodes and then you set it as variable. So you add the old nodes plus the new nodes and then you add it as an update. Otherwise, if you update a field, it's gonna replace whatever is in there. So if you wanna keep track of all the steps that are going and then you keep changing them, you're not gonna be able to see how many times you call or whatever the case is for the field. All right, so this one will continue only the function call is empty. So if a tool call is being activated and they receive the link during the call, this part is not gonna be activated. So we're not gonna send an email and an SMS saying, "Hey, we've been trying to reach out to you," because we already talked to the customer. So make sure you use the search and update. Use the fields where you look for the most recent from the previous step. So if you are searching the table, make sure you use the number that it says. As you can see, is 28, 32, 85, 7. So use that number. So use in make.com, you have numbers, we have steps. So make sure you use that number, previous number. So use the 28, which is the previous one just before the Twilio step. Here we add and change the information as we need. And then we send the message as if the customer didn't answer the phone. Just set it as an HTML. It's better layout. Just ask ChatGPT to create you something. Find a template that you like. You can ask create something similar to this, and then use that, and then change it to whatever you need. Well, that you can add the next call. If you have the next call logic set up in Airtable, you can set up 24 hours. If the payment hasn't been made, if the payment is still overdue, it can call back in 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever the logic is, whatever your structure is. That's how you can set it up. So I just added that as an example. So next call time, you just add the time that you set as variable. So you set now plus 24 hours. So if the call is made at 10 a.m. at 10 a.m. today, the next call will be done tomorrow at 10 a.m. if you set up 24 hours. Does it make sense? Alright, so here you set the condition if the payment is still overdue or whatever. Every business is different. This is the beauty of it, It's every customer, it has different requirements. They have a very different structure than if two businesses are the same domain, but very different structure. And now, if any of you wonder why to use AI, because I get that a lot. I don't want to use AI. Why to use AI? Well, the question to ask yourself is, why are you using computers? Do you use computer? Do you have a laptop? Do you have anything on a computer? Do you use computer at all? And that's the answer for the AI. Why to use AI? Okay, so this is pretty much done. Let's test it again. Testing the triggers. The trigger worked. Send. Now, as soon as the information comes in, you can see it live happening. So that means it's working. Very important is to set conditions and update the contact. If you set up for triggers, for example, if the time is now, or if the payment status is overdue, and then if the new call is on send, and then you send it, and then if you don't change it after you put send, it's gonna send it again and again and again, and it's gonna go in a loop. So as soon as you send it, you need to make sure you change it into done, or change something in the loop, in the pattern, so it will stop it and update it, and then the next step will come in place as you set up the logic. So now the call is sent, updated the time, last modify, and now we should see this one coming through. Yes, so now it's working. And now it's that delay. Now the phone call is in progress. If we get the payment link, the rest is not gonna continue. If we don't get the payment link, the rest, the full scenario will go. Okay, so for tools, we need to set up the webhook response as well, the tool response. So we go in the documentations, we check how the tool response structure is, and then we're gonna update the structure to give a response. Here you go. Just copy that, paste it in there, paste it in the body. Make sure you add the tool call ID, otherwise it's not gonna work. The tool call ID, you get it from the tool call. So when you get the tool call, you're gonna get the ID and the rest of the information. And then as the result, you can put out the result as whatever you want. The tool call is being called successfully, and as you want, you need to go back and forth multiple times using Postman and documentation, and then the error handling from the Postman and make.com. makes everything slightly easier. And then using the JSON editor to actually format and structure your code. That's very useful. Alright, so the message has been sent. The Airtable record exists. So we pull the information from there, and then we set up the tool call ID. So you go under tool calls, and then you get the ID, and then you paste it in there, or use it straight as the variable. Not all. You need to use it as a variable. Alright, that one is out of the way now. Now we need to get the cost. We need to get the cost of the call and then duration. So all that information they are in the call ID. So we need to make a request, get the call ID, and get that information from there, and then update the call info. So we just copy that, paste it, use the variable from the webhook, as the header. We need to add authorization, and then use bearer and your API key. And now we're gonna get the end of the call report, and then it's gonna go straight through. So the request was success, and then we got all the information. But the problem is we get the information as a long string. So if you get the information as a long string, it's basically like one line of text. So we can't really update the database with one line of text. So what we need to do is we need to parse it. So we need to use the tools from make.com and parse the JSON. So we need to set it up. So you just add a new module, you type in JSON, parse JSON, you get the data from there, you pass it there, and that's pretty much it. So then we need to send the information again. So how you send the information? It's pretty easy. You copy the output, you go to Postman, you send it again. Because like this, it doesn't work. So you need to send the information from the beginning. Doesn't matter if it's from this call or from other call, the information will be exactly the same, in the same format. Alright, so we go in the history, we got the run. So this is a trick shot. We get the information, we create a new request in here. We click on the history. So we check the success. The last one was the end of the call report that went through, but it wasn't added to the database because the JSON wasn't formatted. So we just download the output. So basically you copy the whole thing and go to Postman, make a request, make a post request to the webhook, and add as a body row and paste the information in here, just like this. And now you copy the webhook, so you go back on diagram and then click on the webhook, and then copy it, and then paste it in there, and make sure you set it as a post, not get. And send the information, run it, send the information, and then it's gonna go through. Okay, the request has been accepted, we got the information, the data has been parsed, so it's been nicely structured. So what we need to do now is we need to pull the information that we need from there. So it was like this, and now that we use the JSON parser, it just formatted nicely, so we can use the information just like that. Look at that. And now you get the cost from there, and then you paste it in, and then you get the call duration, and then you paste it in, and that's pretty much it. And then you have all the other information in here, so you can do anything you want with the information from here. You can create dashboards. If you like dashboards, you can create dashboards with this. All right, so let's move forward now. Okay, click OK, and then save it. Make sure you save it. So this is it. This is how it looks. This is the base of it. You add more to it as you go. So the more you use it, the more structured it becomes, because you say, okay, I miss this in here, I miss that in there. So the only way to get better is if you actually use it and if you test it. So if you do the process, you will understand, and then you will know what is missing. So the next project, then the next project, and the next project will become easier and easier. So you know, okay, I need this, I need that. Okay, get everything ready, and then boom, 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 done in a few hours. And then the beauty of it is, as soon as you have one, it's easy to create. So if you create, you just add steps in there. So if you create one, then you can duplicate it and add more structure to it, and add more steps to it. You just add a router, and then you do different steps, different scenarios, and so on. So now Airtable helps you create visual dashboards like this. So you can see, for this specific case, like paid and overdue payments, you can add them in a dashboard so your clients can see, or you can see. If it's your business, you can see it in real time, what has been paid, what has not been paid, and so on. It's pretty good, visually pleasing. It's nice. You don't need a college degree to understand that. And then in your calling for table, you got all the information in here, so you can add dashboard, the cost for all the calls and how many calls has been made for each contact and so on. So you can add structure to it. Okay, now we got them so far. We are so close. Now this is the best part here. Here we have the code for Airtable and for Stripe. So basically what this code does, it fetch the new contacts from the Airtable. So this one does that. And then we create the customer. We add all the information in there. And then we're gonna get the customer ID. So with the customer ID, we're gonna store it in Airtable, and then we're gonna create the price. The price is how much overdue is under the customer. So the customer has overdue $100 or $200 or $10 or whatever. We add that to the Airtable. And now here we have the create and update the payment link. So if the payment link is there, we leave it as it is. If the payment the overdue amount has changed, it change the payment link with the updated sum. So for example, some people may have gotten more debt in a week time, and then you just update the link, you don't create a new one. Alright, so this is pretty much it. So you update the Airtable, you process the contact, and then here you are the Brisbane time. You can here change it to whatever time zone you are in. And then I set this one up to work from 7 to 7 from Monday to Friday. You don't want to call people in the weekend, no matter if they owe money or not. Or if you do telemarketing, it's pretty much the same. You create payment links with the products that you're selling, and then you update the Airtable, and then when you send calls, you put the product in there, and then payment links. And you can set up the AI to sell your products whenever the customer requests a certain product or whatever. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. And yes, of course, here is the payment link. This is what it looks like. I think it's pretty neat. You just add your own logo in there, and then all the other information that you want to be added. Everything is gonna be uploaded to GitHub, and I'll share it with you guys. And yeah, happy days. Okay, the time has come. Let's test it out. This is very exciting. Let's do this. Okay, we are the new customer. Okay, let's say John, agency gmail.com. Okay, phone number. Alright, that's the phone number. We use the valid phone number so we can get a phone call. $800 overdue. And now we should get the payment link updated. Yeah, here you go. You are amazing. Okay, and then we should receive a call in here. So he sends the call, and now we should see it happening in real time here. Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. All right, so we're getting the phone call, as you can see there. Hello?
Hey, John.
Hi, how are you?
Chloe from Maxim Accountant. I'm good. Thanks. How about you?
I'm alright. I'm alright, thank you. I'm at work at the moment. Can you be quick, please?
Of course, John. Just a quick one. You have an overdue payment of $800 for our accounting services. Can I help you sort that out?
Yeah, how can you help me?
We offer flexible payment options through Stripe. You can use cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or Afterpay. Can I send you a payment link?
Yeah, sure, please, thank you.
Hold on a sec. Got it. Thanks for your time, John. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, bye. All right, so yeah, that was that awkward there, but yeah. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Here you go. We got the message. I think this is amazing. This is amazing. The use case of this is just mind blowing. You know, you have your late payments list in your document somewhere. You just make it updated every time there is new payments that are not made in there, and then this is happening in real time. You don't need to do pretty much anything. So here is the summary, how it looks like as we want it. Yeah, just breakdown. Okay, so it's the $800. John said he's working. We offer flexible payments, blah blah blah. John agreed to send the payment link, the call, and they coordinate. This is amazing. This is great. All right, thank you very much. I'm very excited about this, and keep learning, and I'll see you next time.